Hey, good morning, YouTuber, model community, and all well-wishers. I want to give you an update to this 69 SS Camaro, not the Flus, the monogram. Still a Revell. Show you where I'm at right now. This is where I'm at. Finally got the rear end. Let's see if I can do a close-up without blurring here. Tires are not on there permanently. I just got them on there just for display right now. But there it is with the coilovers. Also, I have an electric fuel pump I'm going to be putting back there and wiring that in and plumbing that in. I haven't been rushing with this. I've just been taking my time, and it's warm outside, so I've been doing some riding on my bike. I really haven't been down here in the in my man cave doing anything. There's the big block. That's the 427. That comes out of the 60, I believe, excuse me for all the shaking, out of the 67 Corvette. Now on this engine kit, they when you're building this engine, if you go to use the blower, they opted not to put the water pump, nor the fan, nor the pulley, or anything like that, or the alternator. It's just the blower and the belt and the pulleys, and that's it. Nothing else. So I didn't want that. I wanted a street-driven car, and so I modified everything. I cut up the pulley system that they had, just used the pulleys themselves, and then reposition them where I thought they'll look the best and needed to be. The belt on there is a rubber band that's just painted, spray painted, what is it, trim paint, and that's a semi-gloss, I guess, well, it's called trim paint, black, and cut the size and glued onto the crank pulley down at the bottom. And I use what I use for building. I don't use glues. I do use glues, but not model glues. I use CAs. Yeah, that's what I use right there. Sorry for the blurriness. Let's back up a little. So I use a thick CA and an accelerator, and I put the accelerator in this syringe that I buy at Hobbytown, and you can see the tip on it, a very fine tip, and I can pinpoint and just put a drop at a time that I need to accelerate the curing time. It works great. Of course, those are my heater hoses there. Now it's carbureted, but I wanted the look of a fueler, meaning, you know, with the fuel lines up there and all that on, you know, the fuel injected lines. And I believe I achieved that. If you look at it from this angle, I don't know if you can see the ends of those lines. Let me get a pointer here. But on the ends, those ends right here, those are TED modeling fittings, and they come, they're aluminum, so they come in silver. I just painted them blue, you know, clear blue, just to give them that anodized look. But yeah, those are two Carter AFT carbs, I believe that's what they are. Then I got the fuel line, the inlet line coming down. As you can see, it's cut off right at that point, right there. It'll go up under the transmission tunnel. You'll never see it once it's in. Then of course, distributor's all wired, and I used the stock distributor with the vacuum advance on there, and that'll be plumbed in I'll have that plumbed in for vacuum. And then the coil, it's the stock coil, but I wanted to give it a little detail, so I let's see if I can get a little closer look on this. She's trying. Back out a little then. A little more. I wanted to give it a little more detail, so what I like to do is outside wiring it, I like to color the top of the coil a tan color, just to give it some detail as far as the wiring and added wiring to the coil. And I think it comes out really nice. And that wire hanging there, this wire hanging here is the where is it? There we go. This one right here, it goes right into the, you follow it up, it goes right into the throttle linkage. Of course, is for the carburetors. That's the throttle linkage or throttle cable. Then I got Ted's fuel block right here, and that's a 1/16 scale, not 1/12. But the 1/16 scale and 1/12 is, you know, they're not close, but they are close. Depends on what parts you're using. It fitted directly. It fitted as far as scale wise. It's a dead on match. Then for the blower hat, you look real close. I got linkage to the blower hat. No sense in having a blower on there. You can't open it, the throttle on it, and without opening the butterflies there. So there's a linkage there. I don't know how well you can see it, if you can see it at all. Yeah, there it is. That's a better shot. And believe it or not, what I used for the linkage, or the top part here, right there, that's a door handle. That's a photo etch door handle. I cut the end off, rounded it, so the linkage can go on it, and you'd never know it. Now, if I didn't say anything, you would never know what that was. But there it is. Then I built the linkage, not the linkage, but the brackets for the alternator, top and bottom. How well you can see that. See, there's the top part, the adjustable part, where you adjust the alternator or adjust its belt, tighten its belt. And of course I used boot ends on the wiring. For those that don't know what this is, what these are, it's got end fittings on the end of the steel braided line. Those are those tubes in a race engine. Well, the earlier race engines, they would use those to, whatever blow by would be in the oil pan would be sucked out, because of the exhaust making a vacuum, will suck out the exhaust fumes. It's like a PCV valve system that would be in the crankshaft. It's called a crankshaft ventilation system. If you didn't have that, what would happen? Pressure would build up in the crankshaft, and you'll start blowing seals, rear main seals, front timing case cover seals, you know, for the crankshaft, for the dampener, and so forth and so on. So that's what that's for. Normally, on the 1-to-1 engine, they had a one-way check valve down here that went in on an angle, and the line would come in and go into the one-way check valve. It'll allow vacuum to come in, but exhaust can't go out. So that was a great innovation back then too. Of course, I got the end fittings. Then I made the brackets for the heater hoses. So when it does go in, this one bracket here, I just got to do some touching up on it. Will be glued to the side of the fender well. And then these got to be painted. I'll paint these silver, and then let the silver dry, and then put a transparent yellow over them to give them a gold hue or color to it, to simulate the clamp, or the hidden clamps, hidden radiator clamps. You know, they sell those kits and Pet Boys and stuff that you can buy. But yeah, there you have it, YouTubers. I hope everybody enjoyed it. The other thing I'm going to do with this is where the tubes come in to these brackets right here in the ends. Where is it? I'm gonna buy some hardware. This is the hardware, maybe smaller. I'm gonna cut the ends off, the bolt ends off. You know, where it looks like a bolt, the head, and I'm gonna glue them onto that bracket. And then what I'm going to do is get nuts the same size, and the part that I cut off the bolt itself, I'll screw the nut on, and then trim it down, and then put it on the other side, or I'll put the bolt head on this side, and then put the nut end on this side, and with a little of the thread protruding out of the nut to give it the simulation that it went straight through. So that's the other thing. I'll go to the hardware store Tuesday. I'll go to the hobby store Tuesday and pick that up, because tomorrow's a holiday and everything's closed. Just like you see, I got the hardware on these, on the shocks. That's what'll be on the on those trailing arms, which is upper and lower control arms. And these lines, I was going to put emergency brake lines, but I didn't. Those are the independent brake lines to each to each caliber, because these wheels do got calibers. See them right there. So there you have it, YouTubers. Hope everyone enjoyed it. And again, I'm just taking my time with this. I'm in no hurry with it. I got a few more large scale ones. I still got the floose to put together. I finally got the wheels for that in. I'm waiting on an engine. There's a gentleman on YouTube by the name of Ken, K-E-N Boist, or Boris, B-R-O-S-T, who makes a resin LS Corvette engine, you know, the newer Corvette engines, in 1/12 scale. So I'm just waiting for that to come now. He says he's supposed to be casting it Monday, but you know, again, no hurry. So we'll see how that turns out. But that's probably what's going to go into my into the floose. And I got some wicked wheels with some hardware. For the calibers and rotors and stuff like that. It's going to look awesome. But I'm really enjoying this build here. This is coming out real well. So to all my subscribers, I thank you again. And to all my new subscribers who just recently came on, I appreciate it. I hope that all these videos are being, you guys are enjoying, taking notes, and hopefully you can use some of this stuff that I've been doing in some of your builds. And just enjoy it, man. Have fun with it. Use your imagination. What you don't know, look it up on Google it. Look it up on the internet. That's what I always do. And there's a ton of information out there. Of course, the transmission, I got to paint the transmission silver. But like I said, I'm not done with it yet. There's still a few more items I got to do. I got to run vacuum lines to the distributor, and I got to drill holes for the electronic for the cables coming out the distributor for simulate the the wires that go to the distributor from the ignition. The alternator is going to be wired in, and that'll be it. So until next time, YouTubers, I hope everybody have a great Memorial Day weekend. Remember our soldiers and them that are fighting for us. Honor them, thank them. They deserve it. They're laying down their lives for our freedom. Until next time, YouTube, God bless. Mario out.